Alrighty, here we go. Finally jumping straight up into the action now as we see what's going to happen in the battlefield. Well, we have Akimbo on the CT side and InControl running up on the Ts.
Yeah, that is not ANU at all. That in that picture, by the way, I think that's Atomic. But all good. We'll hopefully get that adjusted. Regardless, in control, making their way up towards the B site.
Oh, we already have a little bit of a confrontation going on rather quickly, and it's actually ANU getting the first blood, but of course Obi with those beautiful joys getting into play, gets a double kill, but of course gets taken down as well by the clock. Now we have a 3v3 situation, and 1 minute and 13 seconds on the clock, in which the Ts are just about to get surrounded by the other CT coming from behind. That's going to be none other than Laxi, but he's just throwing the attention away.
That's a quick statement here at the top of Banana. Gets Akimbo into a 3-on-3, and Flaxy just falling back. This should be an easy enough decision. The attack, though, a bit harder. This utility, at least, still placed in the right hands. Mara Mason, potentially strong crossfire, but Ira's still looking for information, looking to clear out Laxi. Unfortunately, he's just missed the mark on that. So now they'll just kind of have to go on B.
There is no more option right now. As I see right here also, they're really low in HP, so they begin moving forward, dropping all utility available. We're going to have Mason take the first line of defense right here with his teammate. That's going to be Mara claiming that kill, and the second one as well. So that just puts an end to the whole ordeal, and the first round goes to Akimbo.
Yeah, pretty easy, relatively strong, and I think that Laxi makes a really great decision just walking away. I would have really preferred if InControl just threw their execute. If they wanted to wait 30 seconds, fair enough. But once Laxi's position is made known, it's so hard for them to pivot back unless they're committing altogether. But just sending Tyra, I say sending Tyra. Tyra's the IGL. He sends himself. But him like walking back to try and clear Laxi out and gather information, it's a little bit disjointed. They need to be playing together there, in my opinion. Whether or not that's B execing or we're back A, probably need to be doing it as a unit. But gets Akimbo their first round. Instant tack pause from Akimbo, which is interesting because Akimbo's not a team that takes tack pauses, like ever. At least not previously. Like I said, this core existed prior to Laxi getting picked up by Skinrave. And then when that team fell apart, all the various pieces kind of go their separate ways. Laxi comes back to these guys. So it's a relatively new iteration of Akimbo.
Oh, that's a good molly. I'm to stop Volner on his tracks, but he actually goes right through, begins moving forward with his team. That's going to be Laxi and Maro getting the first kills right here, and Maro takes a second with the M4. Of course, against the Tech 9, so he's going to have an easier time, but Scorchy at least finds 1-2 kills, so he's all alone, grabs an M4, and now, is he going to get another one? No, he does not. He's put down to sleep. That's going to be the second round for Akimbo. I think that's pretty much standard. I mean, that was a good entry from InControl, considering they only had the Tech 9s, right?
Yeah, I do a little bit of damage. Would have loved the bomb plant, though. I think that would have been a nice added bonus. Scorchy's been really killing it, especially in the ECL Cup I was mentioning, where he is the highest rated player in that event. It's been a big step up from him, and he's a big part of the reason that InControl are in the final of that event. So, excited to see what he can bring.
Missed shot from the deal. Lee's not landing against the enemy's head, and Mason just retaliates with the MP9, so that's going to be the first spot claimed. However, on the other side, oh, look who's dead. He's going to say goodbye. Now, Laxi gets really low in HP, but at least he does get the kill with the M4, and now look at that aggressive play from Mason, going straight up with the MP9. Takes the double and whips out the pistol. Not going to work against Tyra, though. So now it's the only T alive, losing its life against Toby right there. We just saw another one for Akimbo. I think this is finally going to be the moment in which InControl will have something to fight back with.
You get this gun round rolling on in. Tell you, I'm also pumped to see Mason on a team, and he got cut / stepped away from Lag. If I'm not mistaken, because of like other commitments, like he didn't have the time to commit to CS that Lag wanted to put in. But This Akimbo core famously doesn't crack, so well, probably not a big deal for those guys. Oh, the nade that's meant to break open the bottom banana smoke. Try to do the same thing up at top mid. Neither one giving the vision they would have hoped.
Well, they played it safe right there, so the AWP is not gonna, you know, find a victim. But we still have a little bit of utility in play, so we are gonna have to wait a little bit longer until those smokes dissipate. We have a little bit of a fight, though, going on B side as the enemy begins pushing forward into banana. Mason takes a kill, but of course gets refragged by Tyra. And now Obi has to do something right here to defend the sides.
Well, I mean, he was doing everything right. He's dropping his utility, just got spammed through the smoke, one-tapped, really.
Oh. Very unfortunate. Well, now we know who was the better opera in this round. Also, the bomb just got planted. So we have a 2v2 retake situation, I think. Do you think this is going to be doable by Akimbo? It seems like they want to make a go for it.
I mean, they have utility to make this happen. The crossfire here is a little bit weird, but no smoke to cut them off. That molly's really frustrating, and I think that'll be enough for Akimbo to just walk away. No, they keep going.
Ooh. It seems this guy's definitely one blood. They do not want to allow the enemy to breathe, but instead, they are the ones getting drowned by the two players still alive. One for each, and that's just gonna seal the deal for Akimbo. Finally, somebody's putting an end to their spree.
You really can't. You can't be going in for that realistically if you're Akimbo. And I know it's a 2v2, but at that point that they're actually getting a foot in the door, the bomb is a quarter left. There's 10 seconds left on that timer for them to actually get in and defuse. Instead, now they're going to have two MP9s where they could have had rifles. This could have been a very reasonably full buy round. And instead, it's going to be a lot less than that. Neo, beautiful 2 kills, and he wants more. That re-swing should not come through, or at least I'm hoping it doesn't.
Well, now the enemy know exactly where he is, but no, he wants more and he gets it. That's going to be a triple kill for him. Of course, Tyra's right there to retaliate at least, killing him and Obi on the process. But the damage has been dealt. That's going to be another kill for Laxi, putting now Tyra on the spotlight, but he's got 24 HP. That nade was really, really close to actually putting him down. Not going to happen, though. Grabs the AWP, and now, well, the objective hasn't changed. Now he just needs to survive.
Yeah, well, not going to be able to get the chance to do that. You're seeing the ups and the downs there of Neo. He is a super cool opera to watch. It's so much fun to watch him work, but he also has a problem, and that is that he can't stop re-swinging. Often will get himself into trouble. Still delivers the triple kill, but tries to swing another time. Gives Tyra a foot back in. Not going to be a problem for InControl. They'll win one round, instantly bounce back to the losing streak. So they won't be giving this up without a fight. This repurchase is in its entirety coming down the pipe. So InControl give this force a go.
It's interesting to see one player with the MP7. And it's been a little bit more on play, but that does not matter. What matters is Laxi actually getting that first kill against Tyra with the AK-47 headshot. Mason full. The confrontation going on, that's going to be 2 kills for the T's, and another one, in this case, Neo, actually takes one down with the AWP. So now, we have the last 2 players trying to do something into B-side, moving towards Banana. But I think this is just going to be pretty much impossible.
That smoke really frustrates things, but it might get them a bomb plant. Oh, that's a little bit absurd. I know they wanted to deny the bomb plant, but now you've changed this from a 3v2 into a 2-on-2.
Just like it happened previously, but this time, no utility available for InControl except only one flash in the hands of Ayanu. That's going to be the shot from Neo. Beautifully played. Of course, Hiller gets out of there and gets the kill. Now, Mara knows exactly where the enemy is located. Bomb still ticking against the CT. He needs to find the kill, and he does. No problem at all. So he gets that well-deserved defuse.
Yeah, pretty poor spacing from Akimbo, though, in all honesty. They make a lot of mistakes in this round, even though they win it. And it's thanks to Neo's quick flicks and, you know, a couple of important shots on the rifles there at Banana that allow them that victory. 5-1. And this is exactly what I was talking about when discussing this matchup. It's hard to call anything an easy win against Akimbo because they have individuals that on their day can just be so dominant. And right now, I mean, we've seen Neo and Laxi both have multi-kills that are just so hard to deal with. And I mean, here we go again. Another one of these aggressive swings. And arguably, Neo probably could have had a kill. He doesn't quite track it down.
I'm really surprised that Nate didn't deal that much damage, but on the other side, we do have one that does. Obi takes down Mr. Feldner himself with his own. So that HE also puts down Tyra and Scorchy. Really low in HP, but Mason surviving just barely. Obi, another kill. That's going to be a second triple if you count the HE as well. Of course, Ayler is right there to answer back. But my man, this guy just single-handedly destroyed InControl.
I mean, he single-handedly doesn't know ever when to stop, and it's crazy to see him. He's already got a kill. That's a man advantage scenario. They have banana control, and he's just in the smoke playing the fade. It's ridiculously aggressive, and for Akimbo, it's the way in which they often surprise their opposition because they play so aggressively that even when you anticipate something crazy, it's still not good enough. They still catch you off guard.
And that actually makes me wonder, do you think that they're going to be that aggressive? And more than anything, like, they are going to actually be able to do that well on the T side on this map?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. What I do know is that Akimbo will not give up space. So if their CT side continues at this type of pace, it almost doesn't matter what their T side looks like because they have done so much already. We'll also say that InControl, they have been pretty impressive on this map in particular, but it's via their CT side that they've really done the biggest damage.
Well, speaking of damage, it seems that we are going to have it right here. That's going to be Mason just taking one down player, but the Tech-9s proved themselves to be rather useful and deadly. 2 kills for the third and fourth. That's going to allow the bomb plan to happen. And although Laxi was spamming through the smoke, he does not quite find a victim. That's an incredible shot. How did that happen?
I think the M4 is what connected that, so not that crazy. Anu's got the cutoff here. Surrounds InControls already.
Oh, look at this. Are we going to have a knife? I don't think so. He can't really, give away that opportunity. So there's the shot from the Tech-9 coming from behind the player, and now Laxi's all alone, so he's going to go down in the end by the MP7. That was quite the flank and actually allows InControl to just deco the enemy right there.
Win by aggression, die by aggression. That is the Akimbo way, and it's a little bit of death by aggression here. The double swing isn't all that bad, but missed utility on they were throwing a B retake or a upper banana retake molly. That misses, and so then they swing behind that. They're not really ready to fight in that fashion. It's pretty ugly. So a little bit of miscommunication and a missed bit of utility hurts them badly. Here we go again. Banana fight. Akimbo not finding a duel that they don't want.
Yeah, the nade also doesn't quite deal some damage coming from Akimbo. Right now, it seems that the initial aggression has just come to a stall. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer, guys, just to see some blood.
Not that long.
Not that long, absolutely. That's going to be Maro getting that kill with the M4.
Maro's only got 20 more bullets, period, on his M4, by the way.
Ooh, look at that. Neo from above, but of course, Ayanu is right there. He misses the shots. Oh, what's going on? They actually both survived right here, and we have another confrontation this time. Feldner, he doesn't find the target, but of course, that's actually Ayanu doing that. And now, Feldner finally does get his victim. Another strike for the Tiger. That's going to be Neo out of the equation, and Mason at least gets one before going down himself. Well, look at that. Maro is right there. Joining a little bit late. But just getting the job done. Down to 25 HP. I think this duel is going to be everything as we have the kill coming in for InControl. That's just going to be another round for them with the AK-47.
Yeah, finally actually busting up Akimbo's economy. That's a huge asset. And Morrow, remember I mentioned, didn't have any ammunition, so that's why he swapped to the MP9, because he didn't have any ammo left. So a little bit ridiculous that it comes down to a one-on-one there. Akimbo essentially just running at InControl at different areas of the map, but will mean an eco. Neo has bought a little bit more than he can afford, but what a nade.
Yeah. So much damage. Well, Akimbo is right now on a very tough spot. They don't really have any firepower except for the pistols. Deagles, I mean, they're still deadly, as we can see right now for Obi. He takes down Tyro with one precise shot through the smoke and right into the head. That's going to be Mason taking another one. Be careful, though. These guys are on fire. They may not really have this superior firepower, but they do have what it takes.
Yeah, headshots aplenty being handed out one by one. It's still 2 over here towards B. Neo and Obi. They're going to walk into this as well. This is a bait setup. Wonderful molly.
Yeah, that actually drives him away. They have to relocate, but of course, Eller continues with the chase with the AK-47 in hand. He knows exactly where Obi's going to be, so he gets a shot. He gets a kill. Now, Neo actually missing that opportunity. He's just claiming another victim. He's not going to be able to do much on that confrontation, so that's another strive for INU. Now, the bomb's going to get planted as soon as they can, but they need to make sure that the enemy is not coming. There we go. That's the Ailer. Takes down Mero with a headshot. And now Laxi all alone has an AK-47 in hand. Takes one down. And that's going to be the end. Ailer claims that round for his team.
A quad kill out of Ailer. An important round. Can't let the Deagles get you like that. It would have been a harrowing experience. InControl to win 2 gun rounds and then follow that up with a eco loss. Thankfully, they stole that out, but the damage is significant. Scorchy's first AWP of the map being pulled out right here and now.
That would have been just a little bit of their own medicine, right? I mean, if they got eco'd. InControl did the exact same thing. Well, we're just gonna have a little bit of the calm before the storm, apparently. Seems that now no team wants to play as aggressively as they did previously. Damage right there. Bringing Neo down to 59 HP. Now, I think that this round is really, really important for Akimbo. I mean, they could really jump into the next half of the game with the 7 and 4, you know, having already an advantage. I think that would be really important for them.
Yeah, I'm concerned about InControl's lack of map control. They have nothing at bracket at all. So with 3 players here for Akimbo, they pretty much well know what's going down. There's not a lot of counter utility, though.
All right, that's going to be a little bit of util being used by the T's, so that means go forward. Obi is going to be the first one claiming a victim. That's going to be Neo taking a second one, but of course the retaliation falls in from the T's. They actually take 1 and 2 with the AWP from Scorchy. Wow. That's going to be another one going down. Beautiful shot. Aggressive, precise, and deadly. Now the bomb's going to get planted, and we have, just in the nick of time, the bomb getting planted. But now, of course, Lexi takes the opportunity, brings down Ailer, and we're going to have another 2v2. And yeah, the nade, that could be more than enough. It is. He takes down Scorchy. That's the up cone. And 1v2 against the AK-47. Lexi, just final nail on the coffin.
Very impressive retake there for Akimbo. The amount of damage that was done on the hold itself was a big part of that. 9 health, 1 health for 2 of the 3 remaining members, and then Laxi's flank takes care of the high health player. Nade right on the target, and then they double swing efficiently. Lovely stuff from Akimbo. It's not going to break InControl's economy. They're still good for the final round of the half, but it is, like you were highlighting, you know, an important moment for Akimbo, considering they are right in position to move forward. Could have 8 rounds at the end of the half. Even as InControl, I think, do a good job of recovering We're down 6-1, remember?
I think going 8 rounds would be huge, because then if they actually win the pistol round at the second half of the game, that would be just around the corner of the double digits, and we all know what that means already. So right now we're going to have the teams moving forward into A side, but of course they're going to stumble upon a wall of bullets coming from Laxi. You see, he actually takes a double kill, but of course the refrags fall in as well. Now InControl begins to make the move into the side, get into positions, and probably try to take somebody down. We have to make sure that there's no CTs lurking around. And speaking of which, we do have Maro right there on pitch, so he does take the shot against Tyra. Gets another kill, and oh, that's gonna be Obi getting the last 2 because they were just lined up perfectly for him.
Yeah, this half is the classic Akimbo, where you are seeing consistent big performances out of Neo, out of Laxi, and out of Obi. We are very much seeing that quality shine through. Maro's having a fantastic performance. That's part of the reason that he has been, or has had the step up in stats that we were kind of seeing in that head-to-head graphic. But InControl, as I mentioned, this Inferno has been their bread and butter in their CL run. They've been really good on it. Regain, they beat Regain, they beat Lag, 2 of the best teams at this level in the region. And it's all really predicated on their CT side.
Well, that's quite the kill, actually, we're seeing from so far away from Laxi. Of course, Tyra. Ooh, it's been a while since I've seen that weapon, honestly. But he does find a kill with it, by the way. So we have a little bit of a shot also landing against Obi's head from so far away. He's down to 16 HP. Boom, another kill we actually just saw right there, inflicting a little bit of fear against Obi as he was just about to join his teammate. He sees him die before his eyes. 1 minute and 7 seconds on the clock. And now Akimbo begins to make the move. That's going to be Tyra getting that kill against Mason. But be careful, he runs out of bullets. Tomorrow retaliates, gets the kill, pushes forward. Oh, surprisingly, I thought at least one of them was going to go down there.
Yeah, that is a brutal way to lose this round for Akimbo, because I mean, they had such a massive advantage. You thought that if they just work together, play off of one another, they're probably going to be doing okay. But Ayler with a couple of kills, picking up some big momentum, is InControl at this point. Second half pistol win. Do just that. It is going to be an eco. Another classic here is that Akimbo eco, but they have bought more than they can afford. Both Obi and Neo have bought deagles they can't afford. And Laxi, my bad.
Well, I think Laxi's doing pretty good. I mean, he could get a good shot with the deagle and, you know, grab a weapon, probably survive that. First one going down,
that's probably what he said in the VC.
I mean, those shots from the deagle, they definitely hurt. We saw it working out previously, so who knows? Maybe that's exactly what they want to do. I'm just gonna have to wait for the smoke to dissipate so we can have a little bit more action. Now they know that there's one player right behind. Ooh, on the other side, we're gonna have Ayler killing Maro with the MP7. So now only 2 turrets survive against 5 of them. 5 CTs. Pull back. This time the deal didn't work, Obi. Sorry about that. He's gonna lose his life. Not to the Molly, but to Tyra. Shot from the M4. Now Laxi, all alone. Yeah, he's just gonna go down.
Yeah, and unfortunately now, the problems that I highlighted with the buys are definitely going to be there. It's going to be Galil Central, and if not, it'll be a significant lack of utility. It looks like they're just going to not buy the utility. Obi and Mason getting a bunch of util for themselves, but everybody else lackluster. So it's not really a surprise, but hey, Akimbo probably going to be playing fast this round.
Oh, speaking of fast, look at the damage being dealt against Tyra. He gets taken down to 19 HP, so that is certainly going to help out in the future. shot coming from Laxi. Unfortunately, I couldn't even see it. I just heard it. But now we have the confrontation from Scorchy on the MP9. But of course, he's not going to win that. Now Laxi does get the kill. But on the other side, we have INU claiming the refrag. 2 CTs left. It seems that Akimbo's strategy absolutely worked out.
Yeah, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate matters. It's something that it's a tried and true tested. Geez, if I can spit out the words. Method for Akimbo. For a long while at this point. InControl. Balanced out. Though they did have 3 MP9. So I really wouldn't take this round too awful seriously. Neo's going to sidestep and won't find. That's Tyra. It looks like Tyra and JS Feltner will be able to save.
I wonder what Scorchy... Yeah, he's going to go for the AWP. I want to know if... Alright, let's just do a quick bet. Is he going to get the first kill or not?
Well, if I could tell, it's too bad we have a trash can HUD, and I don't know who Scorchy is, so...
Oh.
I was gonna say, let's see where he goes, but I think he's mid right now. I think he's far side. Maybe porch. Either way, looks like he is gonna have an opportunity.
Well, he didn't quite get the chance to even land the shot yet. As we can see, the T4 begins moving around a little bit. We're going to have 2 players lurking, doing some noise on B side. And they actually pushing forward. What the hell was that? I mean, Neo just got full nerd out of nowhere. With no effort.
Yeah, they're not going to flash this, though. And it's an easy shot for Scorchy because of that. Laxi, somewhat ahead of this utility. Oh, he's got the timing.
Boom. Good. Another one from Scorchy. Landing those shots, but of course, Mason is right there to help out. But Scorchy is just going to take quick care of him with the pistol as well. And just like that, this man absolutely did his job and gets the round for InControl. Kind of a weird one, honestly, for Akimbo.
Well, I agree with you. I think it's mostly because they are playing very isolated. They initially looked like they wanted to pivot on B once they got the B kill, but they were spaced poorly, and so then they come flying back up towards A, but without utility to actually flash off angles or take control of bracket methodically. Give Scorchy an easy access to a kill. Laxi, to be fair, almost shot his way out of that situation, but ultimately does not. Akimbo, lots of their money being put into this round.
Ooh, something happened already. It seems that Tyra lit up the feed with a good kill against Neo. Now we're going to have Scorchy. This time he's also going to be able to deliver a very deadly shot from the AWP, just the same way as before.
This time there was...
Yeah, this just puts InControl on the advantage already.
This time there was a flashbang for Akimbo, but it was ineffective. Work for Mailer. That's going to put Morrow unwinnable scenario. 1v4, 13 health. Lucky the nade doesn't do him in. Orchie's probably dead, to be honest.
Ah, they saw him.
Expertly handled by InControl. And I think this is why you can be pretty impressed with InControl and their form here generally. I mentioned how Akimbo muscled their way through that CT side from individual efforts and just, you know, good aggressive play, generally good aggressive play. Well, on this T side, you're starting to see the breakdown in the lack of preparation, their lack of practice, to be honest. A lot of issues where their default doesn't stand up to the test of time, and InControl, they're eating it up.
Well, they're just around the corner of actually getting the tie against Akimbo. And I think it's absolutely going to happen. We have a full pistol rounds for Akimbo. They begin pushing forward. Now, we have seen this work before, so don't that we know. There it is. That's going to be the action. And Ain is right there to help out with the AK-47. Also, Ayler takes a double kill before going down. Neo, being the star of the show right now for Akimbo, does get those kills with the Deagle. This is just going to put everything on a 2v2 situation, 2v3 situation. Bomb's just going to get planted right now. Cutting that timer short from 1 minute and 3 seconds. And this time, T-King against the CTs.
Really not.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
close.
Yeah, yes and no. I think that you're definitely finding the maximum that the new graveyard position can kind of give you there. Hard to play from that position at all now. And in a 1v3, it's just not it. No way to pivot. Even though he gave it his best shot. Tied score line. Akimbo will get back onto the bye. A loss bonus and bomb plants will do that for you.
Well, it is InControl's pick after all, so we could assume that they know what they're doing on this map, that they had a strategy more than ready to fight against Akimbo. So now that they actually reached the CT side on this half of the game, we're just seeing what is expected from them to happen. Scorchy taking lead with the AWP in hand, just waiting for the victim. Knows that there's one player right there, but it's just a little short right there on the trigger. So he does not find a victim, but now he does. Repeats, takes a kill on Laxi. Be careful though, there's one player. Oh, Maro and Obi doing a wonderful job. They actually get 1 CT each. That's just gonna... Well, be the moment in which Akimbo will get that bomb planted, unless Scorchy can do something about it.
The decision here for InControl has to be saved in the next couple of seconds, unless Scorchy gets killed. And he doesn't seem to be wanting to take any risk, especially not when he eats 2 nades. Big damage. But that's a big opportunity. Neo was worried about smoke spam, and so Scorchy can take advantage of that.
Oh, here they go. Look at that. Scorchy takes another kill. Of course, he does go down, but now it's all down to ANU against Mason. He does not know exactly where the bomb is located. Is he going to be able to get the defuse? Woo!
It's close, but he's got it. InControl, 1 step closer. These retakes have been nearly perfect. I was getting concerned with InControl and the amount of time that they were taking, but their patience really pays off. Wait for Akimbo to give them an opportunity. And that 1 step forward from Neo, they get the chance to break the smoke vision on him. And so as Neo's fighting aggressively inside of the, or in second oranges, that's when Scorchy can come flying around the corner, even though he's only got 9 health. And it's a really diligent clear from Scorchy into Pool as well. Loves both of those.
I absolutely love that round from Scorchy. I mean, he did so much on that round. He was the win condition, and we can already see him popping off already with 1 beautiful shot from the AWP. Unfortunately, we didn't see the shot, but the damage was dealt. Now also Tara and Fulner doing their job with the M4. They take 1 player each. That's just going to put everything once again on a 2v5 situation. Akimbo against the ropes, taking quite a beating at the moment. Oh. Okay, finally happened.
Yeah, this is an easy round. It's as expected from InControl. As soon as they get onto the CT side, it's a huge asset that they win the pistol round. But Akimbo have won a single round, and that round was InControl's bonus. Three SMGs that they had on that round, and they even saved one of them. So Akimbo taking another tack pause. It's just their second. They didn't get a bomb plant last round, so their buy is questionable if they do purchase. I don't think they should, but you never know with this team.
I love that. You never know with this team. I think that really describes Akimbo up to this point with what we've seen throughout this game. And it seems they do. They go for a Galil and an AK-47.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell we're doing here. We're buying, we're not buying, we're sort of buying.
Well, at least it actually paid off. I mean, they do get that kill against Scorchy, which is actually one of the most important players on the other side. I mean, he has been really impactful throughout the game. Of course, they still need to deal with the Ailor, but a kill is a kill, especially on this situation.
Yeah, and actually, the more that I think about it, Neo's the only one who really bought down to 0, so mostly okay. Either way, that kill notwithstanding, Neo does fall to Tyra. And who continues to press on the issue, pushes up onto mid, and catches both Laxi and Obi off guard. Akimbo's starting to fall apart.
I think there's just too much pressure now for the last two players on the T side. We know that they don't really have any firepower at all, except for Mesa with the AK-47, but he decides to push forward right now, 45 seconds on the clock. He does not know where any of the players is actually located. He's just going to have to rely on game sense. Oh, enemy spotted. Shots coming in. Tons of damage against Mason. Oh, Maro does get Ailor. Now that's going to be 1, 2, 3 of them already down. What the hell?
Both low, so, I mean, there's a world where this is absolutely winnable for Tyra. Trying to wait out the smoke right now on Moto, but it was just thrown, so it's a long wait. Still has a kit. Plenty of time that he started with is going to be cut at minimum in half.
Oh, that's incredible. Tara actually gets one, but he does not know where the other one is located. He actually kind of has an idea. Yes, he does see the enemy. No, he actually sticks in the bomb. He has no other choice. Mario going in with the Tech 9, and the shots actually find him just in the perfect moment. That bomb's going to blow up anyways. And Maro actually saves it for Akimbo. And, man, I think we just witnessed a little bit of the caster's curse, because we really thought Akimbo were not going to be able to do anything at all with that buy, and they did.
I mean, I really think that it's more about the Maro and Mason moment here. Really high IQ moment for Mason when he's pathing onto the site and he's seeing nobody on site. So he's realizing and communicating over to Maro that it's a double pit setup, that it's both mini and big pit. So they can drop onto them because of that. That's the reason that Akimbo win that round. It's because Mason realizes when he sees nobody on site, hey, this is probably a double pit setup, and makes the communicates over to his teammate efficiently. It isn't a great situation for InControl, but they are still healthy enough to repurchase. Still good to continue this half where they had left off, but it is a breath of fresh air for Akimbo, no doubt.
Yeah, that is true. And correct me if I'm wrong, but if InControl actually wins this round against Akimbo, Akimbo's just really going to have no economic power on the next one, right?
I mean, they're going to have 2,900, so not great.
And that is really going to put them between a rock and a hard place. But now also Akimbo do manage to find the first blood. So they begin pushing forward, all the utility available. Gonna start getting used. They just decided not to confront it instead. They want to relocate.
Yeah, so when they're getting out of there without being spotted and without getting spammed, though, is pretty important. Pressure now being applied onto the A side of the map. They dropped the smoke, though, in mid. And I don't think they realized that somebody has walked through that smoke. But it is still going to be the B execute.
Okay, here we go. That's going to be the T push. And Felder just does a wonderful job also with the flash. Maro does take down A&U. But now Mason is going to get that bomb planted after Maro's kill. Have a 3v2. They just need to be careful about...
Oh.
Ooh. Scorch?
Dude, how did he know?
Yeah, he's the equalizer right now.
It's an insane read. Laxi must have made some sort of audio cue because Scorchy looking for that is crazy. Again, thought I saw a kit. No, neither of these guys have a kit, so they got to get moving.
Yeah, especially because the enemy is really low on HP. They actually do find one. The first victim's gonna be Marrow, and now it's all down to Mason, but he's so low on HP. He does get the kill against Scorchy. Oh, but the timer keeps on running. He goes in. That's gonna be the nade.
He's got it.
Ooh.
Just
Yep.
barely.
Good nade, and it wasn't even the nade that got the kill. That was the M4. It could have been more than enough.
What is happening, dude? HUD's trolling. He had a kit. I knew I saw the kit through the wall. Wait.
Well,
no,
we've seen this happen.
I see it. I see it. HUD's not trolling. It's his white shirt that's trolling.
Oh.
It's there.
Well, it happens, honestly, and I think we have witnessed, like, many weird things in this game to, like, actually think about that possibility, right? Somebody actually trolling. But, well, here we go, round number 23. A very important one right now. This could be the one that InControl needs just to make sure they get the win. INU, in position. Also Scorchy right in front of him.
Very slow for Akimbo. They really haven't waited to make a move for the first 30 seconds at all this game. Part of it that InControl play them set up as passive. Trying to be creative and spotted him over the top of the smoke, but it's INO with the setup at bracket that does deliver another frag on the other side of the map.
Yeah, that just puts everything on a 4v4, but right now, be careful, Soldier. He actually knows where the enemy is located, but he takes a bidding from the Galil, loses his life. So Neo does get the kill right there. Now the bomb's gonna get planted. I am joining the Fond right now, but he just gets dinged down to 17 HP. He has to get out of there.
But Obi's gonna cut him off. Never mind.
Okay.
Kind of crazy.
He was looking the other way.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah. They had confirmation of him right there.
Yeah, exactly. Anu, no escape. Fortunately for InControl, they would have loved to have that second gun, or rather the third gun. Akimbo pushing this one the distance. InControl no strangers to these close Inferno scenarios. A lot of those over the last week from them, but the 3 victories in a row tell you a story that InControl have confirmed them. Yeah, money is really bad here. They just got 1,400 this round for loss. InControl, those who didn't save can barely afford anything. Get a Moss dropped over. Tyra gets an MP9. Felner has only a Eeg. Nicely handled round for Akimbo.
We've seen this happen before, though. Felner can just land a cheeky kill with the deal. He gets a weapon, and they just aces the other team.
It's nade timing. This is a gamble stack on A currently. Tyra's got a pile of smokes on this other side. Big moment for Ayler. Their bracket setup pays off big time. Scorchy might have a freebie here. Morrow, doubtful that he will be able to clear this.
Oh, he's looking at the right place, but is it going to be at the right time? Oh, it does not. He actually takes the BU away, and watch out though. Fulner has the deagle in hand. He misses 2 shots from the deagle, 3 of them, and now Neo just takes the kill. No problem. That's going to be another one falling in. Maro takes down Ayler from pit. Now Scorchy takes position. I think the enemy just heard the scope. Oh, does take Mason. Oh. Mara's just going to take quick care of him. No problem. So now the bomb's going to get planted, probably. We do have Tyra on the refrag right there.
He knows that they're not there. He knows Mara's alone.
Oh, and he runs out of bullets also. Stick it on the bomb.
Oh, Tyra! Oh
wow.
my gosh, what an insane tap. He gets the reload off, the balls to just sit on that reload too. Holy, what a way to win. InControl. Deep into this one.
Alrighty. Well, Vincent, we are back right now into the battlefield, but this time we are going into Mirage. Now, we all know that InControl actually was able to clutch that previous map in an amazing finish, but right now, maybe things will be different. We're going to have Akimbo on their pick, this time starting off on the T side, and we can already see... Oh, first kills falling in. That's going to be a couple of them for the T's. And now Tyra does get one, but of course he gets fragged right back. That bomb's going to get planted. Wow. This is definitely a fast round.
Oh, what, Mason? Just running into the smoke, man. Finds the knife. Oh, poor Jens Feltner. Couldn't do anything about that one. Mason got big cash as it was with City there for ANU, unfortunately. Under balcony. Really struggling to figure out how to get there. Those dualies were set up for success, but the outcome wasn't so much that. Yeah, Akimbo into Mirage, their map pick, and they've won 3 Mirages straight. It's going to be speed like that you'll see a ton, and it's this type of round actually that you'll see a ton as well, like for the T side of Akimbo, as they sprint out middle. Never going to pump the brakes too hard.
We do have some stuff going on. I mean, Scorchy losing his life early on. We're just gonna turn him into spectator, just like every single one of us at the moment. And we still have 1 minute and 20 seconds of that. So Lexi actually finds Ayanu as well. Another one for him. That's gonna be Felder also out of the equation already. Now Maro with the Mac Dentix makes quick. Oh, I just brain farted right there. But yeah. Just takes care really quickly of the enemy. Now the bomb just gets planted. And that's just pretty much the round at the moment. I mean, I don't really think that Ayler is going to be able to do anything at all with just an MP9 in hand.
Nah, I don't think so either. Kimbo, this Mirage, forever has been their go-to map in the pool to just love to scrim out mid, play an aggressive style. InControl. They're a good Mirage team too. Don't get me wrong. They have won their last 3. Basically working it all the way through their ECL run that I've been talking about a lot. And solid.
I really like that knife. One that Neo's got. Oh, speaking of Neo, well, he does get the first kill. That's a beautiful shot. Straight up against the enemy's head. Just to start off things with a bang. Oh, a little bit more of the same. Beautifully played right now. They keep on pushing forward. That's going to be Laxi now, taking down Ayler. It's pretty standard. I mean, the enemy don't really have anything to fight back with. It's just pistols, so they get taken down rather quickly.
Yeah, not a too big of a deal. Once Akimbo win that pistol round, sweep aside the 4 spy and move from there. Which is AWP though, first of its kind on Mirage.
Ooh, be careful. We are gonna have some action already as we got 2 players crossing paths. That's gonna be Mara getting the first kill, and that's none other than Scorchy actually losing the AWP. But look at what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4 kills, 5 already. As Mason also just to top it all off gets another kill with the AK-47. Oh, we have the confrontation from Obi and Ayler. That one's gonna be win for Akimbo. Laxi and Obi just pretty much at the same time, taking care of the last 2 CTs.
Yeah, you see the speed there from Akimbo coming back out over towards A. And I think that's the first question that I'm going to have for InControl. Are they going to be effective in stopping Akimbo? Because the T side of Inferno wasn't that big of a problem for InControl, but that's because of how effective counter utility is, or just like CT side utility in general can be very disruptive to Akimbo's speed. On Mirage, that's really not true to the same extent. So I think Akimbo going to have a lot more success, as we've already started to see.
Oh, look at that. Feldner actually takes down Mason with just a scout in hand. That has certainly have to hurt a little bit. Especially, I think that whenever somebody kills you with a scout like that, it hurts your ego more than anything. Now we're gonna have Ayler also getting one with the MP9, but 2 kills fell just a little bit earlier from the AK-47. That bomb's gonna get planted. The site now belongs to the terrorist force. Watch out, Marrow. Oh, he does see the enemy, but Ayanu is just a little bit faster on the trigger, so he does get the kill instead.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much of a world, though, to get back in here, especially if Akimbo don't overswing, because time is expiring. They don't have a kit either. And all of that just going to be grinding to a halt once Ayler stops moving. But InControl, I mean, those are huge assets to be able to bring into next round. 2 AKs. Do love to see that on the save. And of course, they already had money. They were already ecoing.
And 5 rounds to 0. That is a very different InControl than the one we saw on the previous map. Now, finally, they are also going to be able to, have the big weapons available. But the same goes for the other side. Akimbo, this time, Neo has an up. Ooh. That bullet actually flies by really closely.
Whipped out a easy entry as well for Mason. Oh, it is falling apart for InControl. Nothing you can do. Akimbo just sprinting at them.
Boom. Tons of dead, but this actually allows for Akimbo to get that bomb planted on a 1v2 now. Ooh, Ayler still fighting back, just barely, not quite able to get it down. Marwa's gonna be winning that duel instead with the AK-47s. Now that's just gonna be another one for Akimbo, and another heavy blow for InControl. They still have some money. They should definitely be able to afford. But man, I think it's just starting to get even more difficult because of all that pressure, I guess.
For this side of the Roubaix thing stuff, that's a big deal considering elimination on the line for Akimbo.
Okay. Oh, careful. Yeah, that's gonna be Obi actually winning that against Ayler. Man, Obi just loves those aggressive plays, and we can see Neo also landing that beautiful shot from the AWP. Patience actually pays off. So now it's all down to INU being the last one alive. All the way behind on despawn. But well, now, I mean, where do you go from here?
The answer is wherever Akimbo aren't, but that's so much easier said than done. Considering that Akimbo are sort of everywhere. Actually, I mean, technically, a chance to win the round. No, too many players on the screen at the same time. I'm starting to very quickly feel as if this game is going to go in classic Akimbo fashion.
Well, they already racked up 7 rounds. And still not a single one for the enemy. We already know Akimbo is going to have advantage on the CT side as soon as we reach the second half of the game. Now, I wanted to ask you, Benson, because I mean, I'm one of those players that still believes that Mirage is CT-sided. Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, it is, but...
I guess some people say that, I mean, it is still CT-sided, but not as much as it used to. Many others. Still, though, we can see the CTs actually dealing a lot of damage right now, and pretty much the whole force of Akimbo has been absolutely decimated. Neo does get one kill with the up, but that's not enough to win the round. InControl takes it instead. That is the one they finally so much needed.
Yeah, it's a massive victory, and the irony that it comes on, like, Akimbo just, not, like, straight up rushing B, but pretty close to it, is not lost on me. InControl breaking through, time being. Some good scenes. Slow down just a hair. And I say just a hair because a little boost here in mid before they get in.
Boom. Oh my, couple kills falling in. That's going to be a third one also. This is going to allow something to happen for Akimbo. Scorch is right there to answer back, though. Lexi was moving forward as if there was going to be nobody right there. You can't really take those chances. So he gets punished for that. Now, oh, aggressive one from Scorchy. Of course, he does the exact same thing as his counterpart. Well, he's going to get killed, and that just puts Ayler on the spotlight. He's gonna get killed, yeah. Mason just takes quick care of that. Another round for Akimbo. Man, things are not looking good right now for InControl.
Yeah, it is classic Akimbo fashion where we're seeing Laxi sprint out mid, get a couple of kills. This one, a little bit of a slower setup with giving him time to get underpass, but it's more do with InControl getting back into position where they're just in some frustrating scenarios. There's another change up. Tyra dropping a smoke and good. Tyra getting caught. Anu got his kill, but unfortunately he's over towards A. The B site under threat and overtaken. Scorchy and Anu, I don't know that they even really have much of a choice here but to save. And I say that even considering that the score line suggests they almost need to go for it.
Well, it's just a 2v4, so it's definitely not something they can do. But the problem is, I mean, how many of those rounds can you just give away? Like, just like you said, they don't really have, you know, like the comfortable position to be able to just keep around like it's nothing. That's just gonna be round number 9 for Akimbo. My god. They're absolutely dominating the round, and we can see a confrontation coming up. Ooh, that's gonna be won by the CT. Just cherry on top, of course, Obi wants to go for it, but he's not gonna find a victim.
That is one way for this Mirage to go. I at least had a little bit of faith in InControl just based on how good their previous results on this map have been. But they've barely gotten the opportunity to run their game plan. Multiple different ways that they've played aggressively has just been shut down. This is another one of those, though. That's a nice double kill from Tyra. Should have probably been a Neo trade, but it is not going to go that way. He gets denied.
Well, now this is the moment in which Akimbo could actually start falling off just a little bit. I mean, at least they don't really have the upper hand, though, but never mind. That's just gonna be Mason rather quickly being the equalizer and the one that once again gets the advantage for his team. They begin moving forward. Now INU is gonna stay put. Knows the enemy is right there. Oh OB moving forward. He's going to get that kill, but of course he's actually forced out of that position. So he's going to go down, but also Ayler is right there with the MP9 helping out. So we have a 1v1 that is actually going to be won by the MP9. Ayler clutching that up in the end. Well, one more round for InControl, but the advantage is too great.
I don't know, though, that it's going to matter necessarily. Even if they get the third round here InControl, they're in need of everything to be immediate. They need to ensure that they can build out of this half, and I don't think that 3 rounds is really enough to do that. Granted, anything possible. I'm not counting it out entirely, but I would not feel comfortable if I were them. This double up setup, a nice adjustment. Fortunately, Scorchy really having a struggle here. Not a surprise to see how good Neo's on the other side.
Well, now the game has just been resumed. And we go straight up for the last round of the first half. And at least things are equal regarding the firepower. Kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. But Neo, love this from him. This is what he loves to do. Scorchy, he's got to be careful not to overstep here.
Oh, confrontation coming up. Gonna have the boost into the Laxi in front of one of them. Shots coming through the smokes. Of course, they don't really find a victim, but Obi does. Takes down Scorchy. That is a big kill. That's actually the upper. Well, one of the uppers. INU still holding on to his. We just reached the 1 minute mark, and look at what just happened. The other up is also going now. Another confrontation goes on. Felner does take down Maro, but Neo is right there doing a wonderful job taking down Felner also. Now Laxi does his stuff, and now Tyra, being the last one on the CTs, does get 1 kill against the Neo, but now they know exactly where he is.
Oh, he's got them both! Come on. Oh, that aim might get him. Too bad. A valiant effort, though, from Tyra. The classic Neo lurking op top mid, man. That is a ridiculous round, and it is double digits for Akimbo to start the first half of Mirage off. And I don't think we're going to be here for too long, at least not on Mirage. Nubis, our decider. Should it be a necessity?
Well, it certainly is looking like it. After all, Akimbo on the city side right now. They had an amazing performance on the T side. If they win this pistol round, I think that's just gonna be it. Well, here they go. Aggressive approach. Trying to find their way into the side, but of course Maro answers with the first blood. Gets second right there, Mason, but Scorchy doing a beautiful double. Also Ayler taking another kill. That's going to be the bomb getting planted right now. Obi begins moving forward. Needs to find the victim, or at least find one of the T's to actually alert his teammate. They begin moving into the side as well. Now, oh, beautiful shot from Obi. What the hell was that? Of course, oh, the second one. He just needs to find one more. He just needs to tap the head. It's 2 HP, though, and against the clock, no way, Obi, he actually just, oh, my God, what a round for this guy, clutching that up by himself.
Yeah, I don't know that there's anything that can stop Akimbo on this map, man. It's too insane. Obi on a few health is just hitting stunner after stunner. Those 3 one-taps is just incredible on the retake. On plan for InControl, they'll at least get a reasonably strong force buyout. But in order to get, you know, some utility to make this happen, they only get 2 rifles. So, Harry Galil's, 2 pistols, and an SMG.
Okay, M-Force. already getting put to good work right there. I mean, they're not really finding a victim, but at least it deals some damage. But look at that Scorchy with the Galil, more than enough to bring down 2 players. The power superiority does not matter here. Oh, watch out for those Deagles spamming through the smoke. That's certainly going to inflict a little bit of fear.
Oh, they gotta be careful not to walk into this setup. It's pretty powerful for Neo, though. There is a T. Oh, he's just made a footstep. That's a big mistake for ANU.
Yeah, Neo doing a wonderful job right there, taking 2 kills, and now Obi, of course, helping out. That's going to be Neo in a triple full house. Ladies and gents, they easily neutralize the tourist. Well, that's just going to be Akimbo. One more round.
Yeah, likely just run off into the sunset for this one. I don't think there's much to speak on. It's by worse than the last for InControl. They don't get a bomb plant this time. Even though their loss bonus is one round higher, they aren't going to even get that second rifle out. JS Feltner gets a scout.
Oh, okay, scout not landing the shot. He does get some damage though. Neo getting the first one. That's going to be Scorchy out of the equation already. And Obi, aggressive as always, finds the victim. Laxi. Wow. Yeah, I think this is it. It's just going to be Tyra. And that's the way that the cookie crumbles. Obi finding the last victim. Hey, everybody. Here we are. Jumping right back now, this time into Anubis. Vincent, what are your predictions for what we are about to see?
You know, I think that on paper, Akimbo have been really good here in the past, and I think that they're shooting hard, and they start on the T side. Lots of things going in the direction. InControl, though, I still think they got to deserve the respect as the favorites. But it's the B site. It's wide open. It's 1 kill onto Ayler in E-Box that gets them that access. Akimbo will get the bomb down.
Well, yeah, after the previous performance, dominant performance that we saw from Akimbo, we actually see them right now taking quite a bit, but putting things pretty much equal as Neo right here takes a beautiful double against the enemy. Of course, now this is the fight in the site for the bomb. Ooh, look at that, beautiful. Neo, that is 4K on the pistol round, just making sure that the enemy was not going to defuse.
Yellow quad kill. I remember when Calamity was on this roster. Ironically enough, Calamity was on InControl's roster last season. So, but I mean on Akimbo's roster. That was one of the times where I feel like this Akimbo team was pretty darn threatening on this map, and it was off the back of how aggressive he was with the SMGs. Not a whole lot different than what I think we're going to see here. I'd start especially, but an eco for InControl, they'll not elect a force buy. They didn't really get all that far on their pistol round to begin with. Pushing a main doesn't leave much there for InControl.
Oh, nice shot from Obi. I mean, he knew that Felder might have actually just wanted to contest that with just a pistol for some reason, and he capitalizes on it. Takes the kill. Of course, also Maru gets his with the Mac 10, and just run at the end, he takes down Ayler. Pretty standard round. I mean, CTs don't really have any money at all. So Akimbo just get a second one. But this time things might be different. InControl should be able to afford the M4s and weapons.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that start for Akimbo. Obviously, Neo with the quad kill and the pistol, very helpful in getting them that access. But here's the guns out. InControl have 4 and 4s, and
oh, that's the initial utility, and a little bit of chip damage against Neo, bringing him down to 53 HP from the ANU's M4. Of course, he still doesn't really want to contest it, wants to play it safe. Take as much time as needed. A little bit of damage also against Feldner.
they don't know about Inu here, so he could still be a threat in middle. Also, timing could be really good for him if he were to peek back in. Look like that's the plan. Wonderful flash. Guys, he's on your screen.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. eventually that will be the case. Ainu drops down into canals and catches Mara, so it's 3v3 for a second before Scorchy chimes in for 2 more, and this round on ice, likely, as Laxey's push through the smoke will net him only the single frag. In control. Their first gun round successful, and it is a much better start to their CT side than their Mirage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw that going into 8 rounds. Was it 8 rounds or 7 rounds with nothing? I think it actually ended on a 9-1, if I'm not mistaken, before they actually start getting more rounds. Sorry about goldfishing that memory right there.
Say that again. My brain turned off. I was loading.
No, I just goldfished, and I can't really remember if Akimbo actually racked up 9 rounds to 1, or was it like 7-1? I can't quite remember.
I want to say it was 7-1, but I don't think... Honestly, the scale doesn't matter so much as how dominantly it happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big moment from Laxey, catching JS Feltner, making a move. And unfortunately for InControl, they're now weak on the A site. They were initially about to be in the right spot, the B site. They were going to be on A. They were re-aggressing A. But Laxey getting that kill brings Akimbo back over to the other side of the map. They're slow about this. Time they're arriving, InControl not so far removed.
Oh, they want to get that bomb planted as soon as they can. They only have 42 seconds to do that. Now, there they go. Laxey takes a lot of damage. Hailer is actually going to capitalize on the bomb planting, so he takes Obi, but of course Mason is right there to take him down as well with the AK-47 headshot. Porchi tries to make a move, but of course Laxey is going to put an end to that. And now it's only Tyra. He's in a 1v3, but the enemy is slow. Marrow is going to be more than enough to bring him down. I feel like that was a doable round if Marrow had been killed right there.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I also think that, you know, as I was mentioning mid-round, Laxey getting the kill there and pulling Akimbo back from A. InControl were about to re-aggress A main, and if they had done that, there was a really reasonable chance that they would have caught Akimbo off guard, but that doesn't happen. Trouble ensues. Akimbo would be happy to take advantage. This could be interesting for Scorchy. He's in the mid-smoke right now, and he must have made a little bit of a sound because Mason found him.
Also, we can see Laxey just with the AK-47 decimating the CTs. But he gets a double, and now Mason, of course, with the Mac-10, pushes in forward. Easy stuff. That's just another round for Akimbo, no problem.
Good news for InControl. They're going to be right back on the purchase. So once again, having to take some concessions at the utility belt's never gonna feel good, especially when, in order to get what they've got, Abler has had to go towards a FAMAS. I think InControl's CT side, like, the bones of it have been solid. They have made generally good decisions. This is going to be tough. As soon as Ayler or JS Feltner start to swing, they might be in trouble. Thankfully, they drop the smoke, but Ayler still gets taken down through it. Oh, that is tragic timing.
Absolutely, and also Laxey doing his stuff. Mason with the AK-47 taking down Tyra. 2 players still alive for the CT side. Only one of them. Mason takes another one. Another strike for the Tiger. This time, it's all down to Scorchy. He has to fight 4 enemies. I don't think he's going to be able to, but he does find one, though. I mean, Scorch is still deadly. Now, ooh, he didn't see Marrow, and he drops down. He's hurt. Very unfortunate right there. A little bit more could have happened.
I'm again concerned by the gun rounds specifically being so so painfully one-sided for Akimbo. And that one, I won't say the entire round was unlucky, but I don't know how JS Feltner goes down. He was the E-Box player, and it seemed like he had a good position. But after Ayler gets taken through the smoke, everything kind of collapses for InControl. They aren't able to have any sort of recovery.
Well, speaking of recovery, that certainly is not going to be happening on this round. InControl, they don't really have much to fight back. They have to save, so they go for pistols. You can see the Deagles also. Oh my god, look at the damage. Tyra, he's brought down to 7 HP, and then Marrow through the smoke just takes him down with a headshot.
That's the full A retake utility.
Here we go. Now another player has been spotted. Feltner needs to get out of there, relocate. Maru, another kill for himself. Oh, Feltner does see it. Okay, he just got a counter-strike right there. Really good stuff. Hey, sometimes it's 95% skill and 5% luck, I guess.
Classic running Deagle. But A side is, I was about to say, entirely open, but they've turned it around. They've pumped the brakes. They've already taken down the recovered AK from JS Feltner, so it doesn't matter. Scorchy in the realm of B, but without much of a option to get back in. Well, Neo hands him a free kill. Nice shot, though, from Mason. Considering how far away the rest of Akimbo were, I was tentatively a bit worried. No problems whatsoever, though. It is not quite the domination of Mirage, but it is close. 6-1, the score line.
But well, this time InControl finally able to afford a little bit. So they're going to have an AWP. Just going to take the time right now to let everybody know that Stake is actually our official betting partner. So you guys can actually go ahead and use the code you just saw right there, CCT35. So you can go ahead and enjoy $5 a week, $5 every day for 7 days. It's a whole week. Just go ahead and use it, or check all the information that we have on the banners below.
I'll start checking that out. Hopefully InControl can get themselves a little bit of a better position in this map. Akimbo's first official as a unit. And Anubis, that is. All right. He's getting a slower burn of this one. Canal control taken by Akimbo. But Scorchy is walked right into the crosshairs.
Ooh. Well, that's a couple kills for the G's now. But also, Feltner does not go empty-handed. Now, Neo on the spot with the AWP. He looks away at the perfect moment just to allow the enemy to survive. And look at that. Misses the shot. Tyra is the one winning that duel against the AWP somehow. Now, the bomb is going to get planted. We are down to 3v2. Tyra pushing forward. Boom, that's going to be Laxi getting the first one from this confrontation. Of course, Tyra actually sees him, goes in aggressively, but gets taken down rather quickly by Mason's AK-47.
Yeah, I'm starting to get to the point here for InControl where, you know, I've highlighted that there's a couple of things that I don't think they're really doing like all that poorly from a tactical perspective. The repush there, sure, fair enough, but I didn't see where Neo got the kill into Scorchy. But like that's a fight that Neo's just holding an angle, and I think Scorchy walks into. As soon as that happens, InControl start reaggressing and they push E-Box. And that's where they're starting to get caught. Here's another change up, but it's a canal push with not much behind it. Inuit, the minimum, will get a refrag. That's much better than it could have been.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually Mason lost that duel somehow. That doesn't really happen a lot, at least not what we've seen from these two teams. But now Obi does take down Tyra. That's a big kill. Tyra right now is doing a whole lot, although he's not top fragging for his team. He definitely lands some good shots from time to time. Feltner takes another kill. This time the bomb was planted though.
Yeah, and the amount of time that it's going to take them to get back in here, there's no kits either. So by the time they all arrive, it's going to be halfway ticked at minimum. I think the JS Feltner is making his way in. Sorry, that's Anu, but it's going to be difficult to dig Akimbo out of these deep positions.
Oh, but Feldner right here could do it. No, he's not gonna. Obi is the one winning that confrontation. ANU on the other side does take down Mara, so we still have 2 players alive. Watch out, the bomb is taken. He needs to defend. He goes for it, but oh, it's going to get defused. Unable to get the last kill through the smoke.
What a whack plant position. I think the plant position is actually what ruins that for Akimbo, because Obi clearly was anticipating it to be planted in a different location than it actually was. And so he couldn't track down the diffuser. If he had actually gotten the nade into the smoke, that would have been perfect.
Oh, that's true.
But he was too worried, or rather too busy dealing with the other CT on his screen. But it's a huge relief for InControl. A little something to work with. Going down big on the CT side of Anubis isn't all that big of a problem. I just think that InControl, 4 rounds, 3-4 rounds is my target. Probably more towards 4.
I feel like Akimbo just really carried over the momentum from winning the previous game. So the 2 MP9s for Aelor and Tyra need to be put to good use, and we're just about to see the fight go a breakout. Yes, that's going to be Obi landing that headshot against Filner. Now the second one falls in. That's Lax taking a kill. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that was rather quick.
The issue that InControl run into there is that they have basically no next step after the smoke fades and they take that fight. Their next step is just to start pushing things. Akimbo, they win the fight as the smoke fades, then they keep winning the fights as they continue to see InControl push. It's the penultimate round of this half, and InControl are broke.
True.
We're going to do some weird halvesy buy here where Aelor and Anu are both getting MP9s, buying down to 0, and then the other 3 are ecoing.
Well, at least a little bit of chip damage fell in because of the MP9 against Neo. But we still don't have first blood. It seems like it's going to be entry. Oh no, it is not going to be.
Main push.
Yeah, I main push. Marrow, beautiful double right now, and he takes one of the MP9s. So I think this is just pretty much done and dusted.
I think InControl should just save what they've got. Feltner not going to be doing that. Score sheet claiming 1 kill, but AK being guarded. I was going to say Aelor looking like he's also actually saving. Not the case. That does matter. $600 will get him a good enough buy for this round. So, big difference for Aelor. Claim that MP9 frag. Akimbo might be about to put together back-to-back 10-2 score lines. The T side Anubis 10-2, a lot more common, to be fair, but InControl, see if they can stand in their way. Score Gzop comes out. Feels like they have a good amount of utility for the first time in a hot minute.
Oh, missed shot from Scorch. Well, not quite missed. I mean, he does take down a lot of damage against Laxi, but not enough to bring him down, and then just a molly finishes the job. Scorchy loses his life. Very unfortunate right there. That was an easy chance.
Can't believe the Laxi gets out with his life there. Nice nade on Tomorrow. That second nade was also meant to be on Tomorrow, but it's blocked if I'm not mistaken.
The AK-47 put to use right now. Beautiful. Another double for Maro. Of course, an aggressive player from ANU with the MP9. Takes out Nobi. That's a big kill right now. But that's only 2 players alive for the CTs. And, oh boy, that's Akimbo with 4 of them. Getting that bomb planted. Already controlling the side. Now another kill falls in. So ANU has no other option but to just get out of there. I mean, it's the end of the world right now. He can't really do anything at all. It's just gonna be a really sad end of the first half.
Yeah, I think that, unfortunately, as much as I can, like, talk about tactics and talk about, you know, some of the more specific details of this game, at the moment, InControl just aren't really living up to the individual performances they would need in order to be playing as well as Akimbo are. You can see Maro 15-3, Laxi's 12-3, and you know, the stat lines aren't nearly as impressive from that point down, but all of them are quality. There is nobody missing a beat, nobody struggling, everybody delivering. And some of the biggest pieces here for InControl are missing. You know, we talked about Ayler, we talked about Scorchy. These guys not having a good time.
Speaking of not having a good time, well, that is gonna be the exact same thing going on for Tyra. He is the first one going down. Now, the push for InControl on the T side falls in. Oh my god, look at that. Laxi and Mason taking quick care of the T's as they begin getting into sight. But Scorchy, by himself, takes down 3. That just puts him on a 1v2. But of course, Maro, what a beautiful use of the USPS. That is going to give the round to Akimbo.
I think with that pistol, it's if it wasn't clear from the stat line, from the score line, I think that there is very little opportunity for InControl to bounce back. Now, a couple of MAC-10s are the best pieces of equipment they have. A few smokes, a couple flashbangs. These are smokes E-box and for mid-house, but they are going to likely be heading out B. That's where the remaining couple of smokes and the flashes are leaning.
Oh, that's the first blood falling in, and this time it's Scorchy. Now, ooh, Feldner follows up. He is going to the underworld as well. Now the next one's going to be Ayler. Tyra does take a kill against Neo, but Obi takes good care of him instead on the refrag, and now it's all down to INU, still surviving somehow.
Okay.
He actually gets a beautiful triple right there with the Deagle and the MAC-10 in hand, but he's down to 15 HP.
He's just going to walk away. Bomb in hand. Maro not moving. It looks like his reroute over to A will be unopposed. Maro's turned around. He might start to read into this. Obviously, the chance for Inu to walk all the way through and go back to B is there, but that's not his decision.
Coming close. Bomb getting planted. All the timer taken against the CT that is alive, none other than Maro. INU getting into position to be able to defend that.
I mean, there's no kit here, so Maro's surely not gonna go this deep. Oh, he will. He had one opportunity to make that happen, and he pulls it off beautifully. Oh, he didn't have enough time. He didn't have enough time. He just barely was not able to get there. Honestly, it was really close, but I think he was just late. Just barely late.
You know what they say, no kid, no clue, and the CT is QQ.
Did they say that, or is it just you?
No, people say that.
Well, I'll say this. InControl, getting a miracle right there that there was no kit. Obviously, Akimbo, they're going to keep buying. Of course they are. They're up by 9 rounds. 8 rounds now.
Nah, they can give those away. I mean, no problem. It was still a pretty good round for InControl, absolutely. Okay, now we are down to round number 15. We're gonna have the first blood spills right here. Yes, that's gonna be claimed by Maro. Taking down IMU. Payback for what happened previously. Now Obi, oh, tons of damage. Scorch is gonna claim that kill, but of course he is refragged by Maro himself. Oh, what a shot from Neo. Takes down Felder. Of course, Cyrus right through the refrag with Mason with the MP9.
Bro, he's making that thing look like a sniper rifle right now. Maro's already here as well. So easy for Maro. 20-3 is just a ridiculous stat line. Akimbo, 1 rifle, 1 MP9, 3 pistols. And it's still as good as the rest have been, up to 12. InControl, their worst force buy yet, I think, is about to be going down.
Oh, that's true. What a tough spot for InControl right now. At least they have 1 HE and... never mind, they just used it. Okay, some damage. We got the kill already. Tyra, say bye-bye. Felder is coming next. Obi. Into himself a double. This is the last opportunity for InControl to actually just stay in the game. I think we can call it already. My man, do you really think Akimbo is gonna get this win?
Oh, we're knifing. Oh, we're knifing.
Oh, they're going for it, but Scorchy has to take 9 in hand. Nah, they didn't go for the knife. It was going to be a little too much, and